Welcome to my home.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Tell us about yourself.
My name is Rachel Hutto. I am a registered and licensed dietitian. I have my master's degree and am a certified nutrition support clinician.
What is a dietitian?
A dietitian is a healthcare professional who has at least 1,200 hours of practice, supervised practice in a healthcare setting. You also have to pass an exam and to be registered nationally.
So what is a certified nutrition, what was that you said?
Support clinician. A certified nutrition support clinician is somebody who has passed an exam to be able to manage a patient's nutrition support. So whether that be enteral nutrition, parenteral nutrition, which is IV, through the veins, and it can be a physician assistant, a nurse practitioner, a pharmacist, or a dietitian.
What's the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a nutritionist could be anybody. Maybe they took a small class over the weekend, a couple weeks course, but a dietitian is going to actually have credentials and have a scope of practice and a professional practice behind that.
What do you do at Northwest Hospital?
I am the clinical nutrition manager at Northwest Hospital. So I manage a group of 10 registered dietitians, and I also give care to the pediatric population.
What's your favorite part of the job?
Getting to interact with patients on a day-to-day basis.
What motivates you to do your job?
Specifically, my pediatric patients really motivate me, but also just being able to advocate for a patient's nutritional health.
What do you do in your free time?
Oh, in my free time, there's not a lot of that, but I have a 1-year-old and a wonderful husband, 2 dogs here at the house, and I love to spend time with them, and I also love to bake and cook for them.
You're an actual dietitian, so where do you find your information about nutrition?
I like to find information through articles, research, so JPEN, A&D, a lot of other types of articles are out there as well, and then I also use websites such as Eat Right Pro, which is a website specifically for dietitians, but they have just eatright.com for general population as well.
So if I'm overwhelmed with information about nutrition, where do I start?
I love, like I said, that eatright.com, but there is also the myplate.gov, which is also another really useful source.
What different services does your team offer at Northwest Hospital?
My team offers a lot of different practices. So we do a lot of inpatient care, anywhere from the neonatal ICU all the way through the adult critical care and medical surgical. We also have a certified diabetes educator who works for our outpatient program, an adult and a pediatric outpatient dietitian who does services through our outpatient care as well.
What's the biggest misconception about your job?
About my job specifically, probably that I work in the kitchen because I work with patient care.
What's the biggest misconceptions about dietitians?
I think the biggest misconceptions about dietitians is that they eat healthy all the time. We love healthy food, but a lot of us really love the science behind nutrition and not necessarily are health freaks.
Well, speaking of food, what is your favorite food?
Probably ice cream if I had to pick a favorite food.
Favorite fruit?
Favorite fruit, definitely an apple. There's a lot of different kinds of apples, but I really love like a good Fuji apple.
Favorite vegetable?
Brussels sprouts for sure right now. I think that they can do a lot of different things.
Favorite protein?
Favorite protein, probably chicken.
What are some foods that you will not eat?
I do not like olives. Unless they're really like cut up, I'm fine with that. Beans, hate the texture. Mushrooms are a no-go, as are peas.
If you could only eat one food item for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably a potato, because you could have them mashed, you can have them baked, you can have them fried, you can have them a lot of different ways.
Do you plan out your meals?
Sometimes, not all the time.
What's your best tip for creating a meal plan?
You want to make sure that you have variety and that you are eating a lot of different things within that variety. So you want to have all the different food groups, but then you want to have a bunch of different types of food within that food group as well.
Do you track your food intake?
I used to. Right now I don't. I'm a mom of a little one, and that's not always feasible.
What's your daily ideal food intake?
My daily ideal food intake would be lots of fruits and vegetables, at least 5 fruits and vegetables a day. Servings of fruits and vegetables a day, that is. And then lean meat, low-fat dairy, and whole grains.
Basic question, what is a calorie?
A calorie is a source of energy.
What are macronutrients?
Macronutrients are what give us that source of energy. So you have carbohydrates, protein, and fats, and that all give us calories.
Are carbs bad?
Carbs are not bad. They're very important for you.
Are some carbs better than others?
Whole grains, I would say, are better because they give us fiber and a lot of vitamins.
Does fat make you fat?
Fat does not make you fat. Anything in excess can make us gain weight, but fat or anything in moderation is key.
How much protein should I eat every day?
So the recommended daily allowance, or the RDA for protein, is 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight for the general adult population.
How can I get more protein without eating more meat?
Non-meat protein sources are things such as eggs, beans. You can find it in peanut butter, tofu, things like textured vegetable protein, which is a great alternative for ground beef, and then grains such as quinoa.
Do you take vitamins?
I do take vitamins.
Why?
Why? Because sometimes you're not able to get everything in your diet, and they can be beneficial at that time.
Can vitamin supplements replace veggies?
I don't think that they can replace veggies. Vegetables are going to allow you to absorb those micronutrients a lot better, and vegetables also have what are called phytochemicals, things like anti-inflammatories and stuff that we're not going to be able to get from a vitamin supplement.
If there was one vitamin supplement people should take daily, what would it be?
I would recommend vitamin D. We don't typically get a ton of sun, don't eat a lot of dairy here in the US, and it's a really important vitamin.
Are raw veggies better than cooked?
I wouldn't necessarily say that they're better than cooked. If you overcook a vegetable, you can lose some of the nutrients, but you have the ability to get the same nutrients in cooked or raw.
Are frozen or canned veggies worse than fresh?
Canned veggies and frozen veggies can be really high in sodium, is the main difference. So you want to find no salt added. For your canned vegetables, you can rinse your canned vegetables to get some of that sodium off, and you want to steer clear of things like sauces and frozen vegetables.
Are fruit smoothies healthy?
Fruit smoothies can be healthy, but we want to just be mindful of what we add in it and how much carbohydrates and sugar that we're taking in, but most of it are natural sugars from the vegetables.
Do you eat fast food?
I do.
Why are sodas bad?
Sodas have a lot of added sugars, and those are not healthy for us.
What about diet soda?
Diet sodas can have its place. I think that anything in moderation works, and it does have the added sugars removed.
Is sparkling water okay?
I think sparkling water is a really great alternative to find something that has a little bit of bubbly, a little bit of flavor in it without calories.
Are energy drinks unhealthy?
Energy drinks have a lot of added sugars a lot of the times too, and they have caffeine, which can be hard on our hearts.
What do you drink on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I normally have coffee in the mornings. I do use creamer and typically some Splenda. And then I typically drink water throughout the day. Some days I'll have a Coke Zero.
What is one thing people should eat every day?
Fruits and vegetables.
One thing people should never eat?
Nothing. I think everything can work.
What food seems healthy but isn't?
Something that seems healthy that isn't, a lot of protein bars. Several protein bars actually have more carbohydrates or more sugars in it than they actually have protein.
Is there a food that seems unhealthy but isn't?
A lot of people think that milk is unhealthy, but it's a really great source of vitamin D, calcium, protein.
So what makes a food healthy or unhealthy?
I think you have to really dig into the nutrition fact label, look and see what the portion size is and what nutrients it's providing.
If I could focus on building 3 healthy diet habits, what would they be?
5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a really big one. Eating lean meats is really important, and then getting whole grains in is really important too.
What 3 habits should I avoid?
3 habits that you should avoid are really restricting your calorie intake, and to making it too low makes our metabolic system kind of slow down. Then You want to avoid cutting out any specific type of macronutrient. We need every type of macronutrient. And then not just macronutrients, but any type of food. No food should be off limits, and we should be able to fit them all in an appropriate portion size.
What is the best way to lose weight?
Best way to lose weight is typically to eat healthier, but we have to exercise.
Are all fad diets bad?
Oh, are all fad diets bad? I would like to say yes right off the bat, but digging into them is really important to look at.
What is the worst diet?
The worst diet is anything that you can't sustain for the term of your lifespan.
And the best?
Something that is sustainable over time, that provides a little bit of everything and that can nourish your body.
Describe the perfect meal.
Perfect meal is going to have about 4 ounces of a lean meat, a whole grain serving, servings of fruits and vegetables, about half of your plate, and a low fat dairy product.
How do you get past a weight loss plateau?
A lot of the times I tell people that they actually need to eat more. They don't like that answer from me, but again, keeping our metabolic rate up and cutting back on calories through exercise is really important.
How hungry should I be when losing weight?
I don't think that we should be hungry at all. Obviously, there's normal hunger, but we shouldn't ever be ravaging.
Can I lose weight without counting calories?
Absolutely. I think if you listen to your body and have some type of self-control to not overindulge, you can still lose weight without counting your calories.
Can you out-exercise a bad diet?
In weight-wise, sure. You can, but then you have to also think of all the vitamins, the minerals, the phytochemicals, and all of those other things that you get from a healthy diet. You're not going to find that through exercising.
Okay, let's talk more about weight loss. If someone wants to make a change but feels stuck, what should they do?
I think that the first thing that they should do is probably seek help. So whether that's from a friend or if you're looking for professional help, to seek out a dietitian.
What is the single best thing I can do to improve my diet?
Eat more fruits and vegetables.
How do you feel about intermittent fasting?
It has its place in some areas. I think if you can't be disciplined for a long period of time, it can work for you. However, research shows that it doesn't really have many benefits on weight loss specifically compared to just a general healthy diet.
Is breakfast really the most important meal?
I think that all meals are important. However, I do think that it's important to go ahead and get your metabolism started at the beginning of the day.
Does the timing of meals matter?
Oh, that's a tricky question. And it really depends on what your circadian rhythm looks like. If you work night shift, if you don't. So I don't have a great answer for that question.
What's the healthiest thing to order when eating out?
Oh, you'd have to really look at the menu. I think that a lot of the times when you're eating out, we think a salad is the healthiest choice, but it isn't always the healthiest choice. And so looking for things like grilled meats, vegetables, whole grains is important.
So fajitas?
Fajitas could be a great option.
Healthiest road trip snack?
Oh, healthiest road trip snack. There are great alternatives to chips. If you're looking for them, you can even grab things like snap peas or fruit in a lot of convenience stores now too.
If I love sweets, what is a healthy swap to satisfy my craving?
I think fruits are a really great option. And then there's a lot of really great flavored Greek yogurts that could be a good option too.
Does family medical history affect my diet?
Absolutely. What you're predisposed to can definitely lean you one way or another if you're looking to prevent.
How can I get my kid to eat more veggies?
Oh, wouldn't we all like to know that answer? I'm just kidding. I think that it's so important to get your kids involved in the kitchen. I think that allowing them to say, hey, this is something new that I want to try, take them to the grocery store with you, have them pick out the recipe, have them help you cook it in the kitchen, and then it's their idea. It wasn't your idea, it's their creation. They're going to be a lot more keen at that point in time to try it, and then continue to try things cooked in different ways, different flavors, raw, not raw, sauteed, baked.
What are some healthy afternoon snacks for kids?
I think there's a lot of different options just based off what your kid likes. Cheese and apples. If your child's older and can eat nuts, that's a great option to add in as well. Celery and peanut butter. There's a lot of great options.
What foods should my kids avoid?
I don't think we have to necessarily avoid anything. However, I think that foods high in sugars should be limited.
Should I make my child finish their plate?
I don't think that a happy plate mentality is the best mentality. Whenever we force kids to finish their plates, we stop listening to our hunger cues. As adults, we overeat a lot because we've really lost that sense of being able to say, hey, I'm full, I should stop. I always encourage parents to say, okay, if you're full, that's great. We can stop dinner for now. But if we're hungry 30 minutes later, it's not time for a snack or ice cream. It's time to revisit our dinner at that point.
How healthy is a PB&J?
I think a peanut butter and jelly can be healthy if we utilize whole grain bread and we don't put an excessive amount of jelly or peanut butter on the bread.
Awesome. Thank you for all your answers.
Absolutely. Thank you.